So we gonna move on transaction fragment XML, fragment underscore transactions dot XML. We have to design this. Okay, so first of all, let me remove this text view. That default text view is presented already, and now what next can be done with that is we have the linear layout, and then the linear layout width and height is match parent. Orientation is taken as vertical, and then open this linear layout, and within this inner linear layout, linear layout of frame layout, and then we have this here 8 dp, gain 5 dp, then we have margin from the end is taken as 5 dp, margin from the bottom is taken as 8 dp, orientation is taken as horizontal. Okay, now what I gonna do here is to first of all let me see to add the text view with the wrap content, and then the background is BG filter. Let me take it this side only. Okay, again we have to add few things to it, like padding from the top is taken as 5 dp, and padding from the start is taken as 16 dp. And then we have padding from the end is 10 dp, gravity is center vertical. Again we have padding from bottom is taken as 5 dp. Then what I gonna do is the drawable, and at the end we gonna add icon kind of thing here. So I gonna add this like IC arrow down. Now you can see that it appears on the right side of the screen. You have to give some padding for this drawable padding like 10 dp. Then we have to add a text here. So the text is month. We have added that successfully. Now what I gonna do next is, let me see, to add a text view here, wrap content, then we have that particular background is BG filter. Again the whole thing is same as the previous one. Okay, so margin from the start is 5 dp, then we have padding from top as 5 dp, then padding from start is 16 dp, and padding from end is can be taken as 10 dp. Okay, and for now the gravity is there. So gravity is center vertical. Okay, then we have padding bottom is 5 dp, then drawable end is IC arrow down. We have to give the text and padding first of all, so padding is taken at 10 dp. Now we have to give the text as categories. Okay, no issues. Again what we have to do is to make another text view here, and its height and width we have to add. Okay, so just remove this, okay, and copy this previous one. Actually it is same. So now you have to change the values only, change the padding values. Okay, that's the right place. And now change the padding values of this previous one also. Make it like 15, it is appear to be. Change it to 30, but in 30 the last one got flooded up, so changing its values like this, and now it is good, and we have to change the text right now. So changing text to the filters and remove this extra space from here, and then we gonna add a view here with match parent and 1 dp as its height. Okay, now yeah, that background make it gray, and then we gonna add a recycler view here with match parent and wrap content assets. Okay, then you have to give the id for this recycler view as transaction underscore recycler. Yeah, again close this. Okay, no issues. And then we have this like this, removing the space. Okay, let me see, it is completed. I'm scrolling it down so that you can correct the code. Okay, now let me go back to the transaction fragment. Here I have to remove this extra thing so that the code can be cleaned up and you can see it clearly. Yeah, so I'm removing it. Let me do it faster so that everything is good to go. Remove this full thing. Okay, now what we gonna do here, let me see first of all what can be possible with this. Like we have on create. Okay, first we need to create some objects here, so let me create them or declare them. Okay, so I just gonna declare them here, private context, and take up that context, and then we gonna have a recycler view here. Okay, and now we gonna do init view function, but yeah, before that get that on attach. So within the on attach, this dot context equals to context. Yeah, good to go. Now remove this. This is really that I have to work on why it is appearing again and again. I need some dependency, but don't worry, if you are getting this, then remove this. I hope you are not getting this extra line. Okay, so what next can be done? Let me see, just to copy this first of all to make a view. So I'm copying this, and then after copying this, make it like this, return view only, and then we have to make a view here, like view equals to then control V. Good to go, everything is perfect. Then we have to make a function, initiate view, and we have to pass out this created view as a parameter to that function. So let me first of all create this function here, and now what next can be done is to see, we have I think recycler view part, and then recycler view dot, but we don't have view right now, so we have to add this here. First of all pass view to it, and then view. Okay, now it can be easily done. Okay, foreign view by id or dot id, then we have that transaction recycler actually. Okay, then then recycler view dot set layout manager. We have to set it out a layout manager, linear layout manager, pass out the context to it. Okay, now within this method we are on create view and make an array list to pass to that recycler view, and for that we have to create, and then like this. Okay, again what I gonna do next is to make a transaction model. Is that we have created models, so now we're gonna use those models here. Okay, so for that we are doing this. And now what else can be done? Let me check it out. And then yeah, we have to pass out this r.drawable. We are adding the things to that array list of that particular model type. So we have already created that model, transaction model. Now we gonna make an object array, and we are creating particular element of that array, that's mean an object. And for that creation we need these thing in the parameter. So we are passing all these things, like one day ago, paid to Zomato, and rupees, and all these things. You can choose any value. Okay, like whatever you want to show there, you can choose as per your choice. I'm adding them as per my choice. Okay, so just like that. You can add that rupees sign also. You can copy that from Google and paste it here instead of RS. It will be more appropriate if you think. Okay, so adding this like transaction we debited from. Again, what I gonna do next is to we have to make a copy. See, there is some error, like we are passing wrong values. But wrong values for what? We have to check out the model for that. Actually it depend upon that constructors parameters, what parameters we are passing to it. Okay, so now let me see first of all if there is any like I have missed anything. No, I have not missed. I think it's a constructors parameter default issue that we are facing right now. So what I gonna do is to go to this particular control click, and here you can see that. So it is taking a string date first of all in the parameter of the constructor. You can see that, and the image is taken after this. Okay, so we have two options. Either we have to make change here, or we can change the parameters in that fragment. Okay, so what I gonna do is to just do this thing. Actually this won't affect anything, the inner thing, but this thing will affect a lot. This is the main thing. Okay, so what I gonna do is to just see, I can make change there. Yeah, can be possible. Yes, it is possible. So just cut it from here and paste it at the end. So at the end you can paste it. Okay, so just like that. Yeah, pasted it here, but we have that comma. Delete this. Now you can say it's error free. Now you have to make various copies for this. So just copying these two line and paste it again. Control C, Control V. Okay, and then we have to make changes within the parameters here. So I'm gonna make change and then do the whole thing. Okay, like changing the dealer name, money, and all these things, changing that drawable icon so that it can be more appropriate. Okay, so I'm changing all these things right now, copying it again and pasting it again, and then I'm doing all this, and now changing its medium like cashback. Okay, so you have to make it like how many numbers of transaction do you want to show in your application. So you can just like make it just like that. Okay, so now changing all these things from here like this, and now debited it to be converted to credited, like CREDITED. Okay, now this will also change. This will change to this tribal image. It's like account, and which one? It's like to account. Okay, so I have to copy it again and paste it here only. So do the same thing, copy and paste, copy this and then paste it here. Okay, so again we are following the same thing right now, and then it's like that. Change it to name and price, then whatever you want to change, like debit or credit, and then we have to change this also. So done. Again, if I copy it and paste it, let me check. Yeah, I think it's 4 right now. So copy it and paste it here, and then changing it again, like you have to change the money and the transaction way. All these things should be changed, so that different number of items can be displayed at that position. Okay, so I think it's now 1 2 3 4 5 6 items are there. So now let me take this cashback one again, and then I gonna paste it here. Okay, and then you have to change these values only. Okay, change this to again anything that you want. Yeah, so almost done. But now what we're gonna do, transaction adapter that we have to create right now. We make its instance here, new transaction adapter, and we're gonna pass the context as well as the list, the array list, to that adapter. Don't worry, we have to create the adapter, and then now we have to like set adapter and pass out the adapter to this. Okay, now you can see that there are errors, so we have to correct the errors. So we gonna do it right now, right away. But first of all, the adapter is the main thing that we needed for now, and for that I have to go to adapter, right click, go to new, and then create a Java class here and name it as transaction adapter. Okay, so I'm giving the name of this just like that, transaction adapter, and have to work over here. Let me see what else can be possible from my end. Like transaction adapter extends the recycler view, and then you have to pass out transaction adapter dot view holder. Okay, all these things we have to create. Okay, and now the view holder is created. Click on that red bulb to create this view holder class separately, and then we have to implement the methods which are required for this recycler view. All these things 3 1, and then okay. Yeah, now you are seeing this error once again, JetBrains annotation not null. So we're gonna remove this annotation, and how can it be possible? Let's see, but before that we have to extend this and see if this thing appears at that place or not. Adapter, then we have to implement one more method here to add that the constructor. Yeah, so now in one go we'll remove this. Okay, it is appearing at various place. Replace all white space, Control R simply. Okay, now we have this, and we have to make a constructor here actually, and before that we need some objects, so we gonna create them here. Let me create them like a private, and then we have the array list, and then the transaction model that we have. Okay, txn list, we give the name as this, and then we have finally the context. Okay, so now alt plus insert or right click, go to generate. So I used alt plus insert, then select all, then got this constructor, or you can type also. Okay, so but there is one error. It is due to different parameters, so let me change the parameter first of all. Then we gonna import this transaction adapter, alt plus enter to import. Okay, so now this is error free, but there are various things that is left out to be created right now. Okay, we have to work all over the things like on create view holder, find view holder, like this. So first of all, let me work over this, and we have to create one layout inflator here. So view, then layout inflator dot from, then parents dot get context, and then we gonna get what else we need it. Yeah, we call this inflate, and then r dot layout. Here also this problem arises that we haven't created the item for this transaction list, so we have to create it. Don't worry about it. Then parent, then false. Okay, then also that r is not imported yet. I'm gonna do it like this and return the view from here, new view holder, then pass the view to it. Okay, and then alt plus enter to import this class. Okay, now you can see this, because we haven't created transaction list item yet, that's because it's showing the red line error. We have to create it by clicking on that red bulb, click on OK. So it is created right now. We're gonna code this design right now, right away. So we'll do it just like that. Again, let me see, split it, and after splitting we have this finally, and within this what I gonna do next is, let me change this constraint layout first of all. Okay, so I'm changing it like this, and then we have make it linear layout, and linear layout we need orientation, and orientation is to be vertical finally. Yeah, so it's just like that. Now we need to add one more linear layout here with width and height as match parent and wrap content. Orientation is given as horizontal, and weight sum is given as 2. Then we have another linear layout inside the linear layout, and now the margin from the bottom is taken as 8 dp, margin from the end is also taken as 8 dp, and margin from the start is taken as 10 dp. Also margin from the top is 10 dp, and then orientation for this particular linear layout is taken as vertical. Okay, so we are in this linear layout, and now we have to add image view here. So I'm gonna add the image view with width as 40 dp, and height is also taken as 40 dp. And again we have the gravity part, so gravity is taken as center horizontal, and then we have the margin as 5 dp. Again we have the background as BG of our home, and then we have the padding, and the padding will be taken as 10 dp. Okay, and now we have a source image, we have to add this. So I'm gonna add the icon here. So which icon I'm gonna add is to contact. Now you can see that in the right side of your screen that the item is added. Now we're gonna add a text view here. So I'm adding the text view, and for the text view we're gonna add that's width and height as wrap content and wrap content. Also the layout gravity is taken as center horizontal. Then the margin from the top will be taken as 10 dp. Again we have text size here. Text size is 10 sp. And now I gonna add as like a text here. Text is like 2 days ago. So you can see that this text view is completed. Now what else is can be done, like let me check first of all. And if I so I have to add the ID for this image view. So the ID is imb underscore transaction then type. Okay, then we have the text view, so we have to add the ID for this text view also. So I'm adding the ID as txt underscore transaction underscore date. Okay, so for now this text view is done, and what else is needed to be done, just remove this extra space and come out of this linear layout. And now you have to add one more linear layout here, and within this linear layout what you have to do is to add this width as 0 dp, height as wrap content, and margin as 8 dp. Also the margin from the start is taken as 8 dp again, and then we have the margin from the top is 16 dp, and weight is taken as 1. Okay, orientation is taken as vertical, and we got this linear layout. And now we have to add wrap content for height and width. Also have to give the ID for this. So I am giving the ID as transaction and then type. Okay, now another properties like text color should be black, text size should be 14 sp, and then we have like text is like paid to. Okay, and now another text view is needed to be add here, so I'm adding that, and then text size is 14 sp for this also. Now another property like text, so what text can be added, like Flipkart. Okay, Flipkart merchant you can add like this. Okay, so yeah, it is like that, but you can add it up to Flipkart merchant, it will be okay, nothing else. Yeah, so I add it up to this, and then we're gonna close this text view. Again we have to give the ID for this particular text view also, so I'm giving the ID as text transaction then merchant. Okay, so ID is given and this text view is completed. Now what I gonna do is to just remove this extra space and come out of this linear layout, and then you have to add one more linear layout here with width as 0 dp, height as wrap content. Okay, then you have to add properties such as margin and 10 dp, margin start it should be 8 dp, and then we have the margin from the top is 16 dp. Again we have the layout weight is taken as 1, and then we have the orientation is vertical. Okay, so inside this linear layout we have to add few more views, so let me add them first of all. So I'm adding them here, and now you can see that this is a text view with properties like wrap content and wrap content height and width. Okay, and then we have to add text color black. Again we have to add the text size here, so the text size is taken as 14 sp, and then the text, so I'm adding the text as this money. Okay, you can see that, and now this text view is closed, and we have to add another linear layout after the end of that text view with the properties such as width and height, wrap content and wrap content. Okay, then gravity is to be taken as and margin from the top is taken as 25 dp. We have to add the orientation as the horizontal here, and now within this linear layout, first of all we have to give the id for this text view. So I'm giving the id as transaction type transaction underscore amount. Okay, so transaction amount is given as the id, and then what else we needed, let me check it out. Okay, so given price, merchant name, and now what we gonna do is to add a text view here. So the text view is having the width and height as wrap content and wrap content. Also we have to give the id for this text view as transaction grad or debited. Okay, and then adding the properties such as gravity, center vertical, and then the margin from the end is taken as 6 dp here. Again few more properties such as text color is to be black, and then text size 12 sp for this, little less than the previous one, and then finally the text, so the text will be credited. Okay, credited to, yeah. So this text view is completed. Now we got to add a image view here to show the icon. So for the purpose of icon we are taking the height and width as 20 dp. Okay, then we have to add the source, so I'm gonna add the source up to like this, a balance wallet. Yeah, so this is also completed. Let me remove the extra space from here so that you can see the screen carefully. Yeah, so removed, and now one more thing is to be added, a view. Okay, width as match parent and height as taken as 8 dp, and the background should be gray. So great, yeah, awesome, it's looking good right now. And here you can see in the left side of your right side of your screen. Okay, this is almost done, removing this extra space, and I'm gonna scroll it from above to here, but yeah, now the adapter one. So within this adapter, first of all let's return the size of that transaction list dot size, that array size, and then within this view holder we have to create that instance of XML and map them within this super call. It's a constructor actually. Yeah, so we have image view, and then afterwards, like it's almost like text views are there, then adding the text view. Okay, then text dealer, and then transaction amount. Again we have a transaction amount deb or cred Yes, almost done. Okay, now within this view holder, what we gonna do is to map them. Okay, so we are choosing it to be map the whole thing. Item view dot find view IID, then r dot id dot transaction type. Okay, then we have these things, and again what we gonna do is add transaction date here, and within the date, like transaction date. And now what I gonna do is add the text view and changing its ID to, yeah, mapping it to the correct one. Okay, then we have transaction dealer, doing the same for this one also, merchant. Okay, and again we have amount, so for amount it should be amount, yeah. And then the last one is there, so last one is tab or CRAD, so it is just like that, deb CRAD. Almost done, yeah. So this part is done. Now we have the work of this find view holder, the main thing. Okay, so holder dot txt transaction image dot set image resource transaction list, then we'll get the position, and then finally we gonna get the image here. Okay, so just like that, image transaction way. Okay, and yeah, that's right. Okay, so now what I gonna do next is to copy this and just change these things. Okay, txn, then we have the date here, and again we gonna get set text as these text views. Okay, then get position, then finally we gonna change this method after this. Yeah, this method I have to change, so get transaction date, I think that's the third one. Yeah, so we're gonna get the third one, get txn date. Yes, a little confusion is there, nothing to worry. We're gonna get this like this. Okay, so we have these 1 2 3 6 methods. Yeah, so on the 6 methods this. Okay, now we have to just, I think, delete these lines and then copy the second one 4 times. Yeah, and now within that first is done already, and this is the second one. Yeah, so change it tx and text view, and then you have to change the method here. So the method is get txn way or medium. We have 3 things. Okay, and we have amount and txn way. Okay, yeah, and then let me go for the second one, try. Yeah, so it's gonna be medium, and then we got transaction dealer. So in this also we gonna get that dealer. So this one, yeah, right. Again we gonna get transaction amount. Yeah, so here the amount, get transaction amount, the first one of course, and then copy this again and paste it, transaction amount CRAD deb. Okay, and then finally you gonna change it at the function. So change it like this. First of all, remove this and get transaction amount cd. Okay, nothing to worry, everything is good to go. and now this is completed. So transaction adapter is done. Now we gonna move to which one we have fragments. Yeah, of course. Let me check. Okay, this is done, this is done, this is also done.